I'm being attacked. Ah. Ah. Huh. Well, you may ask, what are you doing? What am I doing in this little bush right here? Well, I happen to have some deer flies attacking me right now. So they're very territorial and they're sight directed. So they see me and they go for me, and there he is running right around. Right, he's still around. But if I back into a bush like this, a lot of times they'll lose me, and then I can walk back out and keep going. Sometimes they'll lose you and sometimes they won't. Most of the time they lose me if I back in. They can't get to me because I've got this bush all around me. Because they mostly go for my head anyway. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. It works sometimes, but it's one of the measures I use for dealing with deer flies. But they can get pretty insane. I mean, there can be, I've had 10, 20 at a time on a trail before, and they've been pretty bad. And even in your vehicle, they'll attack the vehicle because they're territorial. And they're very sight directed. So that's what I'm doing. He's not bothering me right now because he's somewhere up in this tree or this bush. So that's what I'm doing. Anyway. Blueberries. They are not there yet, as you can see. Okay. That one isn't either. Okay, well, let's take a look at some huckleberries. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's good. I'll grab another one. Well, the huckleberries are out. Pardon me while I chow down a little bit here. Okay, that's enough. Let's go over here and let me set this up for a minute. Oh, I hope you can see me. You look like a camera to me. I wanted to do a video on, it's spring, summer now, and the bugs are out, so that's kind of really what I wanted to talk about. Because, you know, what do I do when I get attacked by insects out here? Well, I've talked about it a little bit in some of my videos, but I thought I'd go into a little bit more detail on it, because it's something that's you know, it can be miserable out here for sure if they you know, if you run into a time of year, or you know, a bunch of them, and you know, a bunch of insects. It's just it's part of it, but there are some measures we can use to deal with them. I mean, I can tell you what I do. and what I know about, but some of it works, and I mean some of it's, your mileage will vary on some of it, but for the most part it's pretty, they work pretty well. So you know, well, how do we deal with bugs? How do we deal with insects? Well, we've got mosquitoes, Skeeters, we've got deer flies, we've got horse flies, sand flies, sometimes people call them no SeeUms, and we've got various black flies. They're here pretty much year round, all the time, but they're not as bad in the fall or winter. I think the cold might knock them back a little bit, so if you don't get the cold weather, then they're going to be worse, you know. So the hotter it is, seems to be the worse it can get. They just multiply like crazy. But well, how do we deal with them? You use the normal, your usual remedies to deal with them. You know, I like to use, if I don't have anything else, I'll use my clothes. I'll cover up with clothes. I like to carry my jacket, hooded jacket. It's going to rain. It rains a lot anyway, so you know it's good to have a hooded jacket, rain jacket. And in one pocket, I may put a mosquito head net, a bug net for my head. And in the other pocket, I'll put a pair of gloves. Gloves are always useful out here. Not only to protect your hands from the insects, but you know, any kind of work you're doing, or you know, cuts or anything like of that nature, you know, they protect your hands. So cover up with clothing. The second thing is is bug netting. So and lastly, you know, as a last resort, you might want to go to DEET. Those are not the usual remedies. Well, you can go a little bit beyond that if you want. You can go into the natural remedies. They're not 100% effective, but they do work, and they're definitely better than nothing. A lot of these natural remedies were developed by the Seminole Indians. The Seminoles have been doing it for ages here in Florida. So the pioneers came along later, and they just pretty much copied what the Seminoles were doing. They pretty much, you know, and they used three main things. They used smoke. They make a smudge fire, or they use punk wood to get a good smoky fire. And smoke, the pioneers pretty much lived in the perpetual haze of smoke all the time because of the insects. So, you know, smoke was the one, and oil. The Indians, the Seminoles would put oil on their skin. That includes fish oil, animal oil, whatever kind of oils they can get. Just a little bit of light oil on their skin. And the Indians also used, the Seminoles also used Dogfennel, which is Eupatorium capillifolium. And we'll go take a look at that since there's some right nearby. This is, you can hear me, this is Dogfennel. I'm going to break the stalk off. Dogfennel, Eupatorium capillifolium, I believe is the botanical name for it. Dogfennel is the common name. It's pretty good. It's effective for about an hour when you rub some of it on. Pull off the hairs, crush it up, smear it on, and it has a strong odor. So, and you can you know for sure what you got when you smell it, because I don't think there's anything out here that actually smells like it. But of course, I've been doing this for a while. I would recommend that before anyone uses this, as with any plants out here, plants are basically chemical factories, so you might have an allergic reaction to this. So I would recommend only putting a little bit in one area just to see. Wait for a while to see what happens. So if you have a skin reaction, and if you do, don't use it. But fortunately for me, it doesn't. It lasts about an hour. It's very strong, odorous, like many plants. There's quite a number of plants. Pretty much if you have any kind of an odorous, smelly plant, the leaves sometimes of some plants, like Pawpaw for a good example, but that's another one that people are allergic to, so you want to be careful with it. Crush a leaf and smear it on. It's a strong odor, and the bugs, the insects don't like it, so it's really good for a mosquito deterrent. Other bugs maybe not so much. I mean, the gnats still pester you, and I don't really think it's so good for deer fly either, but it's more for mosquitoes than anything, and it works really good. For me, it has anyway. I wouldn't say it's like any of these out here, these natural remedies for is an insect repellent. Like I said, it lasts about an hour, so you'd have to reapply it. Of course, if you sweat or if you wash it, you can wash it off and have to reapply it. So, but it's definitely better than nothing if in a pinch. Some of the other things are mud. Mud works okay. The problem with mud is it hardens up and cakes onto your skin, and then when it breaks, it can cause your skin abrasions on your skin, and you get a rash, and so mud's not always a good thing. But if that's all you got and you're getting chewed up, you're getting eat up by the bugs, it might be an alternative. So mud, any smelly plants like this. I've already mentioned oils, animal oils, fish oil, even commercial products like that are oil-based, like Skin So Soft. Anything with a little bit of oil on it. I guess maybe even baby oil would work. Any kind of little bit of oil on the skin. The bugs don't like that. So that's another natural, more or less natural remedy. These are the usual remedies. This is the usual remedy for insects. If you got your hooded rain jacket, gloves, you could use a cheap pair, you could use a more expensive pair. They think these are military, these are just more commercial, but so depending on your needs. But mosquito head net, and if you need to go bigger, you could use a full-size bug net. But that's more for like shelter items and things like that. So it's not practical for if you're just hiking or whatever, for the day or whatever. But unless you're planning on, well, I guess you could throw it in your bushcraft bag or whatever. But anyway, as a last resort, DEET, a DEET-based insect repellent. That stuff's pretty harsh though, so depends on what you want to do. I mean, this can get pretty hot when you cover up, so you don't want to overheat. So you want to keep that in mind. So the DEET might not be a bad idea depending on the heat, how hot it is, and you don't want to get hyperthermia, so which is the opposite of hypothermia. So you don't want to overheat yourself So keep that in mind when you're when using clothes to protect yourself from the mosquitoes and other insects. So that's pretty much what I wanted to cover on the I guess the gear for, you know. Of course, like I said, other people may have other methods, and that's fine. I don't, you know, I'm just showing what I know to use. So, you know, as with anything, my way isn't the only way. So, anyway, thanks for watching.